Welcome, everybody. Hey, this is Jeff Herring, and welcome to the show. Is it possible to take just one article and turn it into an industry changer, a new digital empire focusing on soon to be retirees and empty nesters? Well, we're going to answer that question in just a moment. I'm laughing because in the background, Donna's dancing to the music. We'll introduce her in a moment. Welcome, everyone, to the show. So glad you're here. Now, behind the scenes, we're in the process of making the podcast and the live cast that you get later even better. So that'll be coming up soon. Watch for that. Our next show is this must be International Week because Donna's in the UK, and then Wednesday I'm having a brand new person in from New Zealand. So, we'll call this International Week. So there you go. So, Miss Donna, we met about 400 years ago at an event.
That's right. When neither of us were gray, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And here's the thing that I want you to know about Donna. She's a coach, trainer, author, speaker, and radio host of Living Legacy Leadership. And one of the ways that comes out is as a coach, she works with empty nester women and soon to be retirees to develop, listen to this, their legacy strategy. Individual or group sessions, offers courses, coaching and workshops, design next steps that, listen to this, next steps that skill, thrill, and fulfill. Nicely done. Nicely done. Welcome, Donna. How you doing?
Great. Thank you.
So how did you get interested in retirees and empty nesters?
Well, I spent most of my early career working in the brain training field. I did corporate, educational, public sector work. That's probably how you know me best.
Yeah.
But because I am an empty nester and a lot of my friends, of course, I'm a free agent. I haven't been an employee per se. I'm a gig worker. But a lot of my friends are now easing into or have just retired. And I'm noticing with both the empty nesters and retirees a slightly different nuance in the beginning of their transition to their, new freedom, freedom from kids and work to have freedom to, live out their dreams, things they put on hold for such a long time while they took care of other obligations and commitments. So it's really been, it's a labor of love. And I found myself, people would ask me advice about it. And so it's something very near and dear to my heart that we use our lives for something meaningful and something that matters. And these are two groups that, are ripe with skills, with experience, with hopefully wisdom, goodwill, networks, all ready to be put to good use.
It's very perfect. I know that, when my first son moved out, it was like, but the second one was still there. And then when he went off to college about a year ago, whoa, that was a big house with just me. And I read a book, and the best piece of advice in it was this: your kids are out having great new adventures. You need to have great new adventures.
So, well, you have your new dog now. So in a sense, you're not quite an empty nester.
He's been with us 9 years. He's been with us 9 years.
Yeah, well, a lot of empty nesters really have to shift, what I call shift the locus of your focus. Because all of my decisions for over 30 years with an 11-year gap between the first and third child were made with the kids in mind first.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a shock to think I didn't have to do that again, or I didn't know how to do it. It was such an ingrained habit.
So you know what I did last spring? I figured I'm going for this. I'd always wanted to do this thing. Okay. Sold or gave away almost everything. Okay. My computer and Duke. And we spent the summer as digital nomads, actually April through September, as digital nomads in the North Georgia mountains. Um, I had my computer stuff, and he and I went on lots of walks. And I'll show pictures again sometime. We were in Helen, Georgia, not Hell in Georgia, but a town called Helen, Georgia. Okay? They do a lot of Oktoberfest kind of stuff. It's kind of like a German mock-up town. And I was on one of the hills there taking pictures of the sunset going down over the mountains. Donna, I turned around, and 10 feet in front of me was a 500-pound black bear walking
I
towards
saw
me.
that picture. I saw
Yeah.
your picture.
And I'm
Yes.
still here. When people
Must
ask
have been the
about
beer.
that,
Wasn't his brand of beer, Jeff?
I guess not. I guess not. Whew. But that was a big dog. All right, so let's dive in here and bring up your article. We're gonna have some fun with this. All right, so here we go. Let me bring it down. Oh, that's what you do. This is the article. All right. 3 keys to create your living legacy at any age or stage of life. I love it. Now, I'm going to get us off the screen because we want to focus on the article and let everybody make it big enough for them to see upon it. All right. So, and I think I can still make this a wee bit bigger. There we go. That's even better. If you can't see that, well, squint. All right. So your preamble, how do you choose a living legacy? Okay. I love it. I love your build up to it. First step, your intention to make your life count for something. I love it. You want to leave the world a better place than you found it, whether you were a scout or not. That got so ingrained in me in the scouts
Exactly.
that I mean, both sons asked, Dad, why do you clean up so much when we're leaving someplace? Because it's going to be better than we got here. What I really like what you've done here is you've talked about it and then the activity. 5 significant intentions you recall from your life, making a difference. Yep. Cool. Very cool. Number 2.
Because a lot of times we don't recognize that it's actually a theme or a habit of ours throughout our life. And when we're looking at designating what we call a living legacy, we can look at the trends and patterns that we've left with the trails, about a trail of crumbs throughout our life, really.
Yeah, and they point to things. I mean, that's why I'm doing even more volunteer work now. It's funny though. When Duke and I were moving in here, and Caleb was with me one time when I was shopping for some things. I said, what do you think about these? And he goes, Dad, it's your house now. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But you're going to be there. So, you get a little bit of you don't get a vote, but you get a comment.
Input.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Direct your attention towards how to develop a meaning. Cool. Of your unique self.
So you move from intention to attention.
Say that again.
You move from your intention, which is more internal, to attention, which is you then direct it outwards.
Play on words. Nicely done. 5 to 10 areas of interest you keep finding yourself involved in. Yep. Very cool. Very cool. Number 3, if nothing stands out yet,
just start doing something.
Do something. Those are 2 of the best words ever. My buddy Andy Andrews talks about that a lot. Do something. Engagement generates energy, which in turn generates its own opportunities. Yeah. Activity 3. However far along you are, write down 3 to 5 actions you can take to progress. Yeah, it doesn't have to be complete right now.
You're right.
Yeah.
For some people, they're just beginning the exploration and discovery.
You'll remember this way back when I first started online full time. This must have been spring of 07. I think it was after we met at one of those workshops. I just needed to clear my head one Saturday, went driving around and had no idea that for the last 3 months, I lived 45 minutes from the Appalachian Trail. I had no idea.
Really?
And discovered it. And, it's just, something we do all the time now. I remember the first time I took Buddy there, he was in love with it. He looked at me once like he was saying, "How long have you known about this?"
Is
We go again.
that near the Hike Inn?
It is near the Hike Inn. Yes. I've not
My friend Larry Cooper is a chef there.
really.
Go
Okay,
say
that's on
hello
my
if you
list. That's on my list. I've got
tell
to
him
get
hello.
I've got to get a little bit of my wind back up for that kind of hike because
Mm,
a little bit of summer COVID knocked that out.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's coming back. I ain't gonna let that keep me back.
good.
Okay, so this is great. I love it.
One of the suggestions as well for volunteers, which I saw when I worked for quite a few years, starting myself as a volunteer at a nonprofit, which was called the Ann Norton Sculpture Gardens
Right.
in West Palm Beach in Florida, was that if you want to volunteer, but you want it to turn into something which could become your living legacy, is actually seek to do or make yourself available with jobs there at the nonprofit where you actually learn a skill or improve yourself or develop yourself. Don't let them relegate you, at least all the time, to just stuffing envelopes or things where there's no growth potential.
Absolutely, because you never know how much will happen because of that. I hung
Exactly.
with my mouth open about a couple months ago now because I'm now in something called the living room. It's the college ministry at our church. So
Mm,
I'm volunteering in there as a small group leader. And two buddies of Caleb, these women, young women, are always the greeters at the desk. And I stopped and talked to them. And one new guy came up. And so Viv was introducing me to the new guy. And he tells the new guy, "This is Jeff. He's a living legend at Brownsbridge." And I went, "No, no,
ooh,
no." She said, "Icon first." And then I went, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "You've volunteered in every environment here. You know how to do everything here." So,
fantastic. Yeah.
I'm not saying that to be impressive. I just want to underscore what you're saying because it's so true. All right, now let's take this and roll. All right. So Donna's new digital empire. We got the article. Um, how involved are you over on medium.com?
I'm new there, which I'm
Okay.
ashamed to say because I
All
know
right. You
how
got to start
effective it
somewhere.
is.
It's a great
But
place for traffic.
yeah, I'm happy
Um,
to jump in and go
okay.
full hog.
I'll help you with that for sure.
Thank you.
And so those three things that we just looked at from the article would be perfect for a course. Okay.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
and and it could be really it's three modules right there in those three things, but it really becomes five modules because the first one is a get started here where you give them a quick win before they start, then the three, then the last module is never conclusion. It's, you've heard this before, next success steps, right?
Right.
What they
Exactly.
need to do next and how they can get more
Hmm.
involved. um, Now with these modules, you could do all of these. I usually save all of these for a larger course, like a 5 or 7 module, but you could do all of these. Because you got the article already. You're good on video, and like I tell people, if you've written the article, you already got the script, right? Um, People, especially of the generations we're talking about, retirees and empty nesters, love checklists. You know, this, that, and it gives the impression that I'm not going to miss anything. And I was talking to another UK student the other day because he works a lot with changing people, helping people
Hmm.
change. And I said, well, let's make some templates out of that. Like, what are you talking about? I said, okay, here's one. Up until, if you want to change something, up until now, I've fill in the blank. From now on, I'll fill in the blank. And he's like, oh my goodness. So if you could come up with some templates for these people about how to, like a new life experience template or
Right.
infant legacy template or something. Um,
Create the future you want to live in.
there you go. What a concept, right? I
Mm,
like that. Create the future you want to live in.
mm,
That's a good title for a book if it's not already been taken. Um,
mm.
okay, so And then of course a Q&A. Now you could do all this recorded. I like doing them live. You could, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And regular listeners have heard me say this before. We've really been misled over the years about courses and memberships because you got to find the exact right software, you know, and you got to charge crazy big bucks. Well, I got two buddies, Liz and Cindy. Liz has a $9 membership called Email Marketing Mastermind. Okay. But she's got 2,500 people in there. Okay. And all she does is every Monday, she sends out an email template. She does one Q&A a month. And then every quarter does a training. And people get her product too. You know what her crazy goal is? And if anybody could get this, she can. She wants to have 100,000 people at $9.
Wow.
That wouldn't be a bad way to start the month. And then Cindy has one, courses, lots of courses. And there's the only new trainings are new courses. She does 2 Q&As a month. Okay. And the cool thing about that, even though they've got sites they do this on, a lot of this you can do by email, straight by email. And then there's places in Medium where you can put stuff unlisted. And so you can even do this, folks, without a website. Now you've got one and you know you're building, so that's just fine. But you know, the course is really the starting place because from there we can do so much. We can go backwards and we can go forward. Speaking of, Chris, I'm still having the oh my God moments about this.
Oh, fantastic. Hey, Chris.
Well, you guys wave at each other. You're about how many?
Yes, I'm just up the M1 in Daventry.
There you go. You guys say hi to each other. I love it.
Hey.
I love it. Late night over there. All right.
Also, Jeff,
yes.
From the article, I've got several books, and I love your new flip book idea. So that's something I'll be trying as well.
Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? I'm going to do a training on that soon.
Good.
That's one of the best things I've ever seen for giveaways, for lead magnets, and for courses. Right now, my 2 main lead magnets are in there, and I'm going to start, letting people know, get it now, because this is going to become a paid product because it's just so stinking easy to do. Anyway, you know what my crazy idea is? It's just us.
We have many.
My crazy idea is to take every article and turn it into one of those books.
Why not?
Where people could, opt in for it at the end of the article,
That's
and
true.
then eventually turn them into products. Yep.
I have over 100 articles I've written over the years too, so I could do that if I just get my butt in a seat and do it.
Well, you've written how many articles over the years?
Well, when eZine articles was out, I had just under 100, and then I've written many since. So
okay, I'm gonna put your feet to the fire a little bit. How many of those are on Medium?
They aren't yet.
Okay, I like the yet part. You get a pass, not a pass, but it's good you said yet. Okay, because we can do that. Good. We'll get there. All right. Any questions here as we start to wrap up?
No, and I'm looking forward to, for me, the writing the content isn't the difficulty. I have content coming out of my ears and every place else. It's the connecting it up and turning it, as you say, into an empire, which excites me.
Me too. So, me too. And that's kind of my thing now. Taking content and connecting it all up and turn it into an empire. I like the way you said that. Awesome.
And Jeff, it would excite the Spanish fireman's wife. Do you know what she named her 2 twin sons?
What?
Jose and Jose.
Oh, that's one of the best ones I've heard.
Best.
I gotta tell you one. Not a lot of people know this about me, Donna, but on the side, I'm an inventor. And one of my most recent inventions was a pencil with 2 erasers. And I showed it to some friends and they go, but there's no point.
Good
See,
one.
you got to have fun doing this, folks. Thank you for that, Donna. All right. So, folks, if you want to be in Donna's seat, I don't mean at her home right now in England, but in her position here, turning your content into products and empires, you want to go to this address, jeffherring.com/guest. Can't make it much easier. jeffherring.com/guest. And you can, you know what? I didn't take the special down from this weekend yet. So hurry. Okay. Um,
Ooh,
and,
go for it, folks.
and everybody that's already in gets something extra too. So that way you can get on the calendar and we'll do this with you too. Donna, great job. Stick around. We'll talk a little bit afterwards. I just love it. Somebody that I've known since I first started is on here. So thank you. I can't wait to see you build this.
Thank you. And it's been lovely watching you grow and just, grow in every way, including your big heart and how you give so much back. So thank you for that too.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. And yeah, now I have to talk about growing. Now I have 2 sons that are both taller than me. And the youngest
That's
is
not
taller
too difficult. Whoops.
Yeah, that's true. I'm 5'10" on a good day. Caleb's pushing 6'4", little booger. John doesn't like that too much because he's older. All right, folks, on that note, as always, go use this stuff, and we'll catch you next time. See, we can dance as much as we want.